Well, hello everybody. Welcome to video number 33. I know I skipped 2 videos this past weekend, but I will not skip the videos, meaning I will make sure that all 40 videos come out. So I did not skip the meditation videos. If you've been doing the meditation and breath work, you can see how much that has been evolving. And by the 40th day, what I'll do is I'll go into the gym and I will do some performance breath work, show you guys how you can take these tools that I've been teaching over the past 40 days, implement them into performance, obviously, as well as your everyday breathing. But you guys are starting to see that this stuff can get really hard, really advanced, but the benefit to your abdomen, your core control, honestly, your waist gets a lot smaller. If you guys notice, I have a very small waist. There is no question that it has a lot to do with training the transverse abdominals the way we've been doing. And then, of course, you can certainly see if you've been doing the meditation, how much different the meditation is once you get the breath work done, because you really are creating a pharmacy in your brain that maps onto a different level of meditation. Obviously, the contemplation work that we do first, then the breath work, then the meditation, the contemplation becomes more prominent as you're in that space without all of these intrusive thoughts. If you haven't been doing it, don't worry about it, guys. But what I figured I would do today is take the most practical things that we've been talking about, bullet point them over the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, actually. It's 5 weeks. Bullet point different things that we've been talking about, and I will make a takeaway from each thing. So this is going to be as practical as I can make it, and then I'm going to make a larger point about all that stuff later. Number one, let's just start off with nitric oxide. First of all, nitric oxide is super critical for your immune system, but especially heart health. It's a vasodilator, and there are genes that we know of, genetic polymorphisms, that are issues for some people, meaning that you have problems with nitric oxide production. Obviously, these people would genetically be more prone to certain heart diseases because of this polymorphism. What can you do about it? Simple, guys. Breathe correctly. Breathe through your nose. What else did we talk about? Remember, there's products that you can tape your mouth shut at night. It's super important to breathe through your nose. Remember, if you're sleeping 7, 8, 9 hours every night, that's a third of your day that if you're mouth breathing, it's a problem. You're not maximizing nitric oxide production in the parasinuses, because it is in the parasinuses where you maximize nitric oxide production. More than that, guys, if you're mouth breathing, I say this over and over again, it's a problem. You're breathing thoracically. You're not filtering air through the nostrils where you're designed to breathe. You are designed to breathe through the nose, meaning anatomically designed. You are not anatomically designed to breathe through your mouth. So nitric oxide, we talked a lot about it, how to maximize it. And if you want one takeaway, breathe through your nose. If you want another takeaway, tape your mouth shut at night. The breath work we've been doing. The breath work has to do with breath holds. Breath holds. It's not about breathing really, really deep and then exhaling. There is a time and a place to do that, but the breath holds is where it's at. And if you're thinking of Wim Hof, well, what about Wim Hof and all the deep breathing that he does? If you've done Wim Hof's work, which I did do 5 years ago, the whole entire course, it's the breath hold work that he does that's important in the science here. And when you look at the science of Wim Hof and when you look at the science of the breath hold work, what we can get on board with is that it is, in fact, the breath hold work that is giving you the most benefit. So remember, breathing through your nose, breathe slow, steady, slow, and steady. The point is, you should breathe very gently. It shouldn't be... If you find yourself being that type of a person, you need to do a little bit more work with your breathing. It pays off exponentially. Why? Let's get to our next bullet point. Your parasympathetic nervous system is your rest and digest system. It is rest and digest. The easiest way to access your parasympathetic nervous system is through breath work, meditation. You can do certain things like humming, cold water, even gargling water. It's a nerve. The vagal nerve runs from your face all the way through your organs. And many people have issues sleeping, and many people have issues digesting. And it is, in fact, a parasympathetic nervous system problem. And a lot of it has to do with vagal tone, that vagus nerve. So if you want to get better at resting and digesting, then you better start breathing right, doing some relaxation meditation work. Cold on your face is extremely effective. Like I said, gargling, humming, breath work, all those things. If I didn't say meditation, obviously. We talked about sleep apnea and the benefits of sleeping in general. I did 2 different seminars on sleeping. One was just talking about how important sleep is and all of the issues that we see with not getting into certain sleep cycles. If you didn't see that, please watch it, because it's not just about laying your head down for 8 hours. It's the quality of sleep that you're getting that matters, and making sure that you're getting all of the phases of sleep. That was detailed. We talked about how to set up your bedroom, things that you can do before bed, making sure you get your circadian rhythms right by making sure you go to bed at the same time every night. What's most important is that you wake up at or around the same time every morning. We talked about if you're having issues with insomnia in a separate seminar, all of the science there on how to deal with insomnia. And again, just to reiterate, if I haven't said it 10 times already, if you sleep with your mouth open, tape your mouth shut. If you have an issue, meaning you have an obstruction in your nostrils. I told you guys I had a surgery at 27 years old. I was a terrible breather until I was 27. And you may be saying, yeah, but I thought you were a really good cross-country runner. I was a really good cross-country runner, despite the fact that I had real problems in my sinuses and horrible allergies. But I overcame them by learning how to eat right, which did away with all of my allergies, and then getting my nose fixed, which was a nightmare situation for me. But after that, things changed and I felt a lot better. So if you fall into that category, I highly recommend that you get your nose checked and get it fixed if necessary. You can try the Breathe Right strips, taping your mouth shut, and if it requires surgery, guys, I highly recommend doing it. It's that important for your health. We talked a lot about, in the morning, the benefits of far infrared and near infrared therapy. I put links to research on this. At this point, you can look into it yourself, but the main guy that's, I think, the most brilliant guy, there's lots of people looking into it, is from Harvard University, and you can listen to his work, which is abundantly available all over the internet. We talked about the benefits of essential oils, both as antivirals, and then we talked in a previous episode about phytoncides, which is brand new research about being outside in nature. Incredible how it boosts your natural killer cells, which is a huge part of your immune system. So once again, if you didn't hear me talking about Governor Murphy and all these policies being passed, blah, 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 I'm going to make a larger point at the end of this video, but phytoncides, being in nature, scientifically proven in 3 different studies to raise your natural killer cells significantly. This is something we all need to do, boost our immune system. Well, guess what? You can also use essential oils. Certain essential oils will also boost your immune system by using these phytoncides. We talked a lot about vitamin D and sunlight, but it's not just about the vitamin D. It's the benefits of sunlight are not just vitamin D related. You're also getting all of the spectrums of light in your eyes and on your skin. We didn't talk too much about getting it into your eyes. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that, but it is important to get light in your eyes and on your skin, but also sunlight boosts nitric oxide levels in your body significantly. So that doesn't mean go out and burn your skin, everybody. It means get sunlight on your skin. Now, if you think that getting sunlight on your face and on your hands is enough, it's not. If it's a 55-degree day, you'll see me laying out in the grass, shirt off, shorts on. That's fine, man. As long as it's sunny out, I'm out there. 55 is no problem. 50 is no problem as long as it's sunny out. But obviously, I'm not telling you to go out there on a winter day unless you're well trained in some of the cold stuff we've been doing. Speaking of which, let's just talk about it now. We talked a lot about thermal therapies. I put MedCram videos up. You guys know I've been doing thermal therapies for years in the saunas, in the banyas, and in the cold plunges. Going outside, going into snow. I did a video where I actually went into a whole thing of snow and did a snow angel in my underwear. The point is, there's real science here about boosting your immune system, those natural killer cells. We talked about the cold and its benefit on mitochondrial health, specifically the browning of fat. The reason why the fat browns is because you're getting more mitochondria into the fat. That's why it's brown. It's more mitochondria. Well, why does the body do that? Because your body's using what's called mitochondrial uncoupling in order for the body to stay warm. So it's an adaptive process. Babies are born with a lot of brown fat. They're born naked, so nature knows, hey, make sure that the baby has a lot of brown fat so that it doesn't shiver or get cold. Then as the baby gets older, this brown fat changes so that it adapts. But the latest research is showing, hey, this is actually a trainable thing. And we want young and abundant mitochondria. So using things like cold therapy not only gives you the browning of fat, more mitochondria, but it also changes your brain. We get much more norepinephrine into the brain in just 10 to 20 seconds of exposure into the cold. So again, guys, these types of adaptations are called hormetic responses, and these are more for people that are healthy. So get yourself healthy first before you go crazy in hot and cold and things of this nature. This hopefully makes sense. Similarly, like you wouldn't go squat, a few 100 pounds on your back until you learn to do some body weight squats with good form, right? So get your body and your mind healthy, walk, get that extra weight off your body. Then you can start adding in these hormetic responses, which are a little bit more advanced. But the point is, we talked about all that stuff. We talked a lot about vitamin A, vitamin C, zinc, and selenium for the benefit of your immune system and how those work. So if you're not taking it, do it. If you don't want to take vitamin A, you could just take beta carotene. Beta carotene converts to vitamin A. There are people that have genetic polymorphisms that makes it harder for them to convert vitamin A into retinol, beta carotene into retinol, which is vitamin A. But the thing about the benefit of taking beta carotene instead of vitamin A is you don't have to worry about vitamin A toxicity if you just take the beta carotene. There are people that really need to worry about vitamin toxicity from fat-soluble vitamins, and I don't want to go through all of this again, but it has to do a lot with your digestion. It has to do with stomach acid and your gut and your age, and there's a lot of things going on there, how healthy your organs are. So the more unhealthy you are in those areas, the easier it is for you to have absorption issues and or get toxicity from some of these vitamins. Again, if you're interested, just go back and listen to me talking about all that stuff. We talked, again, like I said, about zinc and selenium and vitamin C and vitamin C therapy. You'll recall that I predicted way back on day 1 or 2 that high-dose vitamin C IV therapy. I said I would love to see a study on it. The next day we showed you a study, and what has happened? Well, if you've been following the research, turns out high-dose vitamin C therapy via IV is one of the preferred methods of treating people. If you don't believe me, go back and listen to the first couple of days of me talking about it. Talked about selenium and the issues with selenium. You don't want too much of it because you can get selenium poisoning. Brazil nuts have a lot of selenium, but if you're eating a dozen Brazil nuts a day, you will get selenium poisoning. You need enough selenium. So eat your nuts and seeds. 2 or 3 Brazil nuts each day is plenty to get your selenium. Talked about zinc, the issues with being zinc deficient, why people are zinc deficient, and then the issues with high-dose zinc, especially when we were talking about hydroxychloroquine and using high-dose zinc. So there's an issue going on with people hearing the use of hydroxychloroquine with high-dose zinc. Mind you guys, please look at how hydroxychloroquine is being used. It's being used over the course of about 5 to 8 days with the high dose zinc. That does not mean that they're taking 100, 150, or 200 milligrams of zinc a day, every day for months. And this is the mistake people are making. They're reading things, they're taking things out of context, and they don't understand that high dose zinc over a long period of time, not even a long period of time, within a month, you'll feel issues if you're taking 100 milligrams of zinc every single day. The key here is, if you're going to go higher dose on zinc, make sure that you take a little bit more copper. So for every 25 milligrams of zinc, I would take 1 milligram of copper.